test. Yeah, right. It's in a funny place. Can you hear now or no? Oh, oh shit. Yeah. No, the mic's on now. Yeah, yeah. No, the camera. Can you hear me now or no? You hear it or no? You don't hear it? Can you hear the mic or can you hear like the side sound? Oh, perfect. Let me mute it then so that when I come back. Okay. All right.
Thanks, Tommy. All right, everybody, can I get you all to take your seats? I know you're grabbing some food. There are people coming down the elevators, but we have to sit on down and get started for tonight. Thanks for bringing your class down. I see some great students, a lot of great alumni, but come on and take some seats. Come and have a seat. There's plenty down here in the front. These last 2 rows here. I see Hadiza here. Come on and sit down. Santa Bar's here. Come on and sit down. Grab some seats. See, now we're packing the house. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're starting a little bit late, but I have to make sure that you're all in your seats because I always do one of these. All right, everybody. Give me a city tech. You're not listening. All right, so welcome. I'm going to get started. We're starting a few minutes late, but it's great to see so many people here. So good evening. My name is Ilya Azaroff, FAIA, and I'm honored to be on the faculty here. I see a lot of my former students in the room. It's kind of a testament to the impression this leaves on people who not just work here, but have been part of this program. I also serve on the steering committee that helped put this together along with a lot of help. And I'd like to welcome you all to Building Blocks 2. This is the second time we've done this. It's our annual fundraiser that really supports the students and the Department of Architecture. And I see so many familiar faces, not just alumni, but fellow architects from around the city of New York, a lot of AI Brooklyn members. And we gather together as a community. And it's so amazing that this community, it's a community of practice. And what I mean by that is we're mutually supporting one another to help us build towards a better future. And ultimately, tonight's event, it kicks off our fundraising for the next 60 days. Our goal is to raise funds that support the current students in a lot of different ways. You know, we want to give them the latest equipment, a top-notch experience, opportunities to travel, and just bridge that gap to meet their own aspirations. And, you know, I'd like to take a moment to thank the amazing support we've received over the years from AI Brooklyn. They helped us with the first event 2 years ago, and it's truly been a great partnership. Not only to advance the profession of architecture, but also it offers our students hope to really engage and find their own dreams and realize them. I also want to have a big thank you and shout out to the Architecture League, AIA Staten Island, AIA New York for the generous support, as well as Black Forest Brooklyn, who are in the room. Thanks for supplying some of the drinks, and Drink, the wine shop here in Brooklyn. I'd also like to acknowledge the hard work of our students. A lot of you folks are in the room. The Architecture Club, AIS, NOMAS, you know, all of you guys came together to bring this event to where we're at today. So I want you guys to give yourselves a hand. This was a lot of hard work to put together. All right? You know, you have adorned the hallways upstairs. If you haven't taken a tour, I want you to take one before you leave tonight. The incredible student work that's on display and the dedicated time that all of you students put in to make this happen tonight. I also like to thank Farzana. Farzana, wave to everybody because you have been a master coordinator, right? And lastly, I'd like to give a huge thanks to the steering committee and my fellow faculty members who worked hard to get you all in the room. Ken Konzelman, if you're here. You're going to hear from Sanjeev, the chair of the department. You'll hear from him later. I know Kevin Hom, who you've met. There are many that have helped with this. So tonight we're fortunate to have two speakers, two really outstanding speakers. One is our keynote, Julia Gamelina, who's here in the front row. And right next to her is Sarah Drake, president of AIA Brooklyn and a longtime friend of this community. And before I introduce Julia, I'd like to share a few words about impact, because I really think that's important for us to understand. Impact is what we strive for here in the department and throughout the entire profession of architecture. That's where we meet. Our ultimate hope is for our students to have an enduring impact on everything that they touch, every community they work with, and really change the environment, change the world, so we can build a better future together. Unlocking their collective potential, requires a lot of care, attention, respect for their ideas. It also requires support of a community like this, and that's exactly what I see here tonight. In an era where truth is often questioned and facts are blurred, it's vital to have leaders who speak truth to power. It really is. Voices that illuminate possibilities and highlight those who work tirelessly to uplift others. That's, I hope, what our students are learning. Ultimately, guiding these young minds to the right path. That's why you're in this room as design professionals working with these young students. Giving greater visibility and a platform to these students, to the communities they will serve in the future, and the people across the world who need their support is a noble and admirable act. Your support is that action tonight. By being here, every one of you has demonstrated you're providing the impact that they need to make a change in the world. You've opened your hearts, you've opened your wallets, you've opened your offices. Many of you employ our students, and many of my former students own their own offices. So tonight we have the privilege of hearing from someone who exemplifies some of those incredible leadership skills, Julia Gamelina. Julia is like many of you and me. She's an immigrant. I'm first generation born here, and she understands the challenges that you face in your daily lives. Striving for excellence in any field is admirable, but providing a platform to elevate others is an entirely different and even more admirable act. And that's why it's important that we have Julia here. She founded Madam Architect years ago to give voice to incredible leaders in our profession that did not have a platform, many whom deserve the recognition for the impact that they have blazed trails, the paths that they have taken. So I'm thrilled to welcome Julia tonight. And I'm in deep gratitude, very grateful for our 2022 Building Blocks keynote speaker, Katie Swenson. She could not be here tonight, but she reached out to Julia on our behalf and really made the connection for us. And Katie couldn't join us, but she sends her warm regards. She's out of town tonight, but she also pledges ongoing support for the school. So now it's my greatest pleasure to introduce someone whose work has already had a profound impact on our profession, opening the doors and broadening the possibilities for the next generation of architects that are sitting in this room. Just briefly from her bio, Julia Gamelina is the founder and editor-in-chief of Madam Architect, a digital magazine focused on the extraordinary women that shape the world and make it better. Just think about that. Trained as an architect herself and with over a decade of experience across aspects of design, business development, and communication, Julia is also an associate principal at Ennead Architects, one of the leading firms in New York. She also teaches graduate professional practice and media courses at Pratt. In 2024, I was at this event when Madam Architect received the AIA New York Architecture in Media Award. And in 2023 and 24, Julie was listed as Wallpaper's Creative America, a list of people defining the creative landscape in the US. That's pretty powerful. So she's been featured in so many publications, I can't even mention them all. But one thing that caught my eyes, she was born in Novosibirsk, so we share some common background. She's lived in Canada, Colorado Springs, and all around the world. So with that, I'd like you to welcome to the stage, Julia Gamelina.
What an intro, my goodness. So I'm Julia, of course, and over the past 6 years, I have been very fortunate to have interviewed almost 600 people in our field, anywhere from architects, entrepreneurs, CEOs, journalists, kind of basically personal story. And then I'd like to tell you how Madam Architect has evolved from an interview project to a website to kind of a startup media platform. And then I'll tell you about some lessons learned through interviewing all of the people, women, men, gender non-binary, etc. Oh, there we go. So Ilya mentioned this. The cold outside doesn't make me afraid because I am from Siberia. You'll see all the hats in the photo. I wish I had them with me. I do not anymore. I am still cold outside. I don't do well in the cold. I lived there until I was 8 years old. In fact, we applied for immigration. I say we, but really it was my parents. They were my age when they left. They were in their early 30s. And we left. We had 2 weeks to leave. We kind of got our visas, our exit visas. You needed an exit visa. And we actually ended up leaving on the last day of our exit term. We were on the last flight out of Moscow. And the next day, Putin took office as prime minister. So those exit visas were at that date for a reason. And we're very happy we made our flight. We were late. It was very scary. So we came to Toronto, Canada, another place where we could handle the cold, and stayed there for 6 years, got our Canadian citizenship, which was good that we did, and then ultimately ended up immigrating to the US, to Colorado Springs. We were joined by my little brother in Canada when my parents were settled and kind of found their feet after having immigrated. But it's actually interesting, the reason that we moved to the States, when we were choosing where to move, we had two options. We had New Zealand or Canada. They chose Canada, and while at the time, I'm not sure what it's like nowadays, but at the time it was easier to come to Canada. If you were looking to leave your home country, Canada was very welcoming. But once my parents were there, they found that they couldn't find jobs in what they were trained in. So my dad's a structural engineer, my mom's a PhD mathematician. They could not get jobs like that. My dad was a delivery man, so please tip well. My mom worked on the retail floor at clothing stores and would always take me around. So now I love to shop. She's like, oh my God, Julia, what have I done? And so they eventually said, I don't know if we can really do this anymore. And they ended up looking for jobs in the States. My father found a job in Colorado Springs. It was either that or Las Vegas. And he thought, I have a 14-year-old daughter. Where should we go? And we came to Colorado Springs. Through all this, now I tell you kind of this history for a number of reasons, which I think you'll see as I go on. But the biggest thing is my mom sat me down very early on when we arrived in Canada, and she said, Julia, I'm your mother. I will support you in every way that I can, but I've never applied to North American colleges. I've never taken the standardized tests. When it comes to your academic advancement and ultimately your professional advancement, I'm just not your best resource. And your academic advancement will be the most important thing to propel you through life, because we didn't come with a lot of resources. We had to sell everything very quickly when we left Russia. And so she always encouraged me to talk to my teachers and ask them for advice. So that's what I did. This is me and Mrs. Papachristos, my 5th grade homeroom teacher. She was wonderful. And at first I started talking to her about clarifying assignments, especially when I was learning English. And then it was about, kids at school. And ultimately I started talking to my teachers about bigger life things, like, maybe what should I do? And I really like this. What should I do with it? And that really continued all through college, all through architecture school. I was that kid always waiting outside my professor's door, seeing if we can chat. So I ended up in architecture school. I went to Cornell upstate, and I studied architecture for so many different reasons. I think, from a very young age, I always drew. I drew all the time. I drew over my mom's phone book and scratched out a bunch of her personal contacts when I was little. So they got me my own drawing pad finally, and I could draw on a blank page. And actually, immigrating kind of really opened my eyes because, it's funny, moving from Novosibirsk to Toronto, aside from the language, wasn't that big of a culture shock, because Novosibirsk is a very metropolitan city in Russia. It's like the Chicago of Russia. It's the 3rd largest. I was taking public transportation. We had the city rail station where we went to other cities. And Toronto is very much like that. But when we got to Colorado Springs, where it was very car-centric, I was like, oh my God, where are we? What is America? so I noticed all of that and I started drawing that. I would draw a family and draw a plan of where they lived in the world, and I would draw their house. And my parents looked at that and they were like, "Okay, I think we have something here." I actually ended up wanting to be a fashion designer or a journalist, but my parents were very smart in that when we were in the States, we were still visa holders. And actually, my dad and I are still visa holders. Hopefully, not for long. We'll see with what comes in January. But for this reason, my parents thought, this kid needs a professional degree because visas are much more readily available for nurses, doctors, engineers, architects. And they really encouraged me to take this path, and I did. I'm very glad I did. Architecture school is, as you all know, as you have been through it and you who are in it, you're exposed to so much, you're studying so much, you're developing a lot of skills. And for all the students that are with us today, I really want to encourage you to think about what you're doing in studio, of course, but also what everything you're doing on top of studio, because all of your interests that you're incorporating into your education and ultimately into your profession, they will come out. I can't tell you when, I can't, promise you when, but they will, because for me, I was part of the Cornell Journal of Architecture. I mentioned I drew a lot as a kid. I also wrote all the time. I would make up stories. I would write stories for my parents as Christmas gifts. But I kind of had to put the writing interest aside in architecture school because studio is so all consuming, as all of you know, especially those having reviews next couple of weeks. But I was part of the journal. I also, we had a salon discussion series called Convivium. It was for graduate students only, but I snuck in because I was friends with a lot of graduate students. Nobody minded. It was all good. I was part of the annual fashion show that we put on. I designed and sewn these pieces in one night because I was working on studio for all the other nights. And then so the night before the fashion show is when you would make your clothing. And finally, and I mean, this is really, you'll see this come back into kind of what I do today, is we have an organization called Thumbnail at Cornell, which puts on kind of Pecha Kucha presentation style events at the school. And so for one semester, I led and organized one of these. And I knew that I really enjoyed all of this, but it just seemed like extracurriculars, just things you're doing on your free time for fun. Haha, like you don't know what you'll do with this, but guess what? Literally everything I just mentioned, it will come back. So I got to New York City. I will also say, even more than wanting to become an architect, I think my dream, ultimately, having immigrated, trying to think of what my future would be, it was to be here. It was to be in New York City. We would have family Fridays where we would rent movies and learn English watching these movies. And they were on rotation because when you watch a movie over and over, you're like, okay, now I can understand all the words. And some of you may be familiar with this movie. If you're not, I would encourage you to go see it. Who has seen One Fine Day? One Fine Day, right? So Michelle Pfeiffer plays an architect. So it's actually kind of cool that my first introduction to an architect was a woman, a fictional one, but still. And George Clooney plays a journalist. And here I am now, pretty much their baby, because architecture and journalism ended up making their way into very much my identity and my career. So I wanted to be in the city. I had this architectural training. I got here. I started working in professional practice. This is me on site when I was at Studio V Architecture, run by Jay Valgora and Kathy Chan. And it was really interesting. It was a very mixed experience. There were aspects I really enjoyed and that kind of energized me, and there were aspects I really dreaded and hoped I wouldn't have to do for much longer. And one of those were the days where I would spend the whole day drafting. Now, nothing against drafting. Some people love it. Some people are excellent at it. I was a little slow at it. I was fine, but I really didn't like sitting at my desk drafting all day. What I did like was going to see the clients, going to the meetings, going to the Bank of America Tower to see our client, the Durst organization, but especially having all the different stakeholders there, having the engineers there, consultants, the marketing consultants, the lighting designers. And it's when all of these different professionals got together and just hearing and absorbing the discussion, that's what really fired me up. And so I thought to myself, so that was kind of one aspect of making my way through professional practice, is like, what do I really enjoy? What do I want to do with my skill set? The other, though, was mentorship. So in school, I think out of 10 studio semesters, only one studio professor was female. And, typically the buildings that we were assigned as precedents, all of this, we talked about Peter Eisenman and we talked about Ram Koolhaas and we talked about Peter Zumthor. I think you're sensing a theme here. There wasn't a lot of exposure to Lori Brown. It's a non-for-profit to connect women in practice and in academia and to sort of bridge that gap, but provide mentorship, different resources. And I went to everything they offered, every happy hour, every mentorship meeting, every lecture series where they brought somebody in to talk about law or finance or licensure and architecture. And I'm really, really grateful for this organization because it's where I met my first mentor in architecture. Again, I've had mentors through all stages of my life, but this is my first mentor here in New York City. Some of you may know her, Vivian Lee. This is not a photo from that time. This is a photo from earlier this year. We realized after 10 years of of knowing each other, we didn't have a photo together. We finally took one. Vivian's incredible, and I met her at an architects event. I arrived early to the lobby and I saw someone was also there and she was wearing all black. And I was like, oh, I know where she's going. She's going where I'm going. Um, we took the elevator up together and just totally, completely hit it off. And that night I asked her, I said, Vivian, I'm really looking for a mentor. Would you be willing to talk to me on a regular basis? Can I send you prepared questions? And, can we make this a regular thing? And she said, yes, absolutely. The firm she was with at the time wasn't, I don't think a lot of the leaders were able to teach, unfortunately. And so her way of paying her period forward was to mentor young women. So I went to her office not every day. I was about to say every day, but that would be crazy. I went to her office once a month and would bring a drawing set for her to look at. One time I brought her an email that I wrote to a client and I was like, I want to write the best email ever. Can you edit this for me? And she was like, that's interesting. I don't typically get architects that I speak to very interested in editing their writing for email. So that was something. But I just remember one night after we met, I was practically skipping through Bryant Park on my way home because I was so energized by everything she shared with me, all of the advice she had given me. And I thought to myself, I can't keep this to myself. I need to share this because I know I'm not the only young person in architecture, male or female, that has the questions that I do. And so that's how it all started. Luckily, Architects had a blog. They had Subtext. And I said to the editor-in-chief of Subtext, may I interview my mentor? There are questions I want to ask her. She said, yes, go for it. And that's really how everything started. I interviewed a few more people kind of sporadically in the industry, just when I had time. How's my sound? Good? Okay, awesome. And after I had done maybe 4 cliffhanger. This is on purpose. I like to keep the suspense. All good? Yes. Thank you very much. So I did kind of some interviews sporadically, and finally the editor-in-chief of Subtext, Sarah Rafson, said to me, I've been editing this. It's a little bit of a workload. We were all having obviously full-time jobs. And she said, would you like to guest edit and curate a series of interviews, just like the ones you've been doing, but with a bigger group and publish them regularly? Interestingly enough, I was about to start studying for my exams, and I thought to myself, exams where I have to be at home, at my computer, heads down, or getting out and about and talking to people and kind of seeing what's possible in the industry. And so I chose this for the time being. Earlier this year, I had the opposite. I was like, gosh, I just want to be home, so I am doing my exams, and it's a very arduous process for those who have been through it. And if you haven't been through it, it's actually not that bad. You'll be fine. But they're both true. It's very true. There's different days. Kind of probably depends on what else is going on. But luckily, I decided to do this, and it was completely incredible. And this is when I really realized, I think, the potential of a series of interviews, because when you're doing a one-off interview, you're not thinking about the bigger picture. And am I showing all the different career possibilities that are out there? Am I showing people at different stages of their career, or that come from different places, or that have different interests? And so when I was asked to curate a group of 16, that's when kind of the gears started turning. And ultimately, this is what has led to Madam Architect and what it looks like today. I did the guest editorship. I decided, I don't know why I picked Thursdays. I feel like Thursdays seemed like you did all of your important things for the week. You weren't quite done with the week yet, so you were still plugged into what's happening professionally, but you do have some more time to read. So we still publish our feature interviews on Thursdays, sometimes other days, because we do more than once a week now. But let me know, actually. Let me know if that sounds like good timing, because I am curious sometimes. But anyway, when the guest editorship was coming to an end and a new guest editor was going to take over, so I couldn't do this infinitely. I thought to myself, I really love everything about this. Finding the people to interview, doing the interviews, transcribing, and kind of reliving everything again. I love to get into the weeds with words, not AutoCAD, but Word for some reason, which is fine for me. And really, that's how Madam Architect started. So when the guest editorship ended, I launched it as its own website. And this is what it is today, one of our landing pages recently. Alrighty, so it's now been 6 years. This was May 3rd, 2018 is when we launched, or I launched the website. I say we because even when it was just me doing it, I was thinking of me and all of the people that have shared their stories with me. So it's always been a we to me. So I'll tell you about the core. I'll kind of tell you about our different content verticals and everything we've done these past 6 years. We started with the feature interviews, the Q&A that kind of we're known for. And again, much like Vivian Lee, I started interviewing leaders or people that were at leadership levels at their firms to kind of tell young women what it took to get there, decisions they've had to make, etc. This is Grafton Architects, Pritzker laureates. So we've interviewed a lot of architects all over the world that are kind of at the top of their game. However, when doing that, I thought to myself, everyone kind of looks back at their career with rose-colored glasses a little bit. I think you reach a certain place, and of course you remember what you went through, but it's not as present in these conversations. And I thought, what would it be like to actually interview someone who is taking their exams, who is about to have a baby and going off on their own and trying to make it all work? So that's when the idea of interviewing people at different stages in their careers really took off. This is Elise Sams. She is a young architect in Florida. She was taking her exams at the time of the interview. So if you're wondering, look up Elise. Naomi, so then after we interviewed leaders, people at different stages, we thought, okay, there's no one path in architecture. There's actually a lot of things you can do with this degree. Even if you haven't studied architecture, which you'll see, there's so many ways that you can make a contribution on the built environment, the physical built environment. Naomi Darling, for example, very committed to climate solutions. This is a research trip to Antarctica she did at the very beginning of her career. We also started to interview founders together about, what is it that you wanted to build? How did you come together? What are your respective stories? We interviewed, I love this interview. This was with a mother-daughter duo, just talking about legacy and architectural influence and what it's like to be kind of intergenerational working at one firm. This is Sandy and Maya Madison. And then I thought, okay, here I come back to, if you don't have an architectural training, you can still have a big influence. Who are all the people that architects really rely on to support their businesses, to lead other aspects of their business? This is Sheila Sogard, CEO of Big. Sarah Spare was in-house counsel at SOM at the time. For all of you out there, especially if you're about to start your careers, highly encourage you to read about Sarah and this thing we call scope creep. You'll come back to this when you're practicing, very important. Gabby Bullock, Director of Diversity and Inclusion at Perkins & Will. Margaret Jankowski is a landscape architect, was with field operations at the time. Yuri Kawashima is a geologist in California, so this is super cool. You speak about kind of the lifetime of a building. It doesn't start at concept design. It actually starts at testing the bedrock of where your building will go. So she talks all about that. And then, Town Nguyen is a talent agent at Creative Artists Agency, CAA, in Los Angeles. So much like actors and actresses have agents, architects can too. I mean, it's like Bjarke Ingels and Rem Koolhaas, but there will be more, I think, architects that have agents. So this is actually very interesting because she really is a bridge to how architects are perceived in popular culture and what architects kind of need to learn to communicate and the way they need to learn to communicate if they are to speak to a bigger audience and get to the level of exposure that they are at, architects like Rem and Big. Sharon Prince, founder of Grace Farms. This is one I thought, it's actually really interesting if we get to know the clients too. Who are the patrons of architecture? Who are the people that are valuing the design, the skill set that we bring? And Emma Peter, an architectural photographer. So who is it that helps further communicate what it is that we do, its value, kind of its sensational qualities. So now I think you're getting a sense of, we really focused on architects working all over the world in different corners, obviously people that are not architects, kind of making the built industry better and better, and people at all stages of their career. after we did these big picture interviews, I thought, okay, how do these people do it all? The question I get all the time is like, how do you make it all work? And so we decided to do like a daily routines vertical where we talk to people literally from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. What does your day look like? If you want to be in business development at an architecture firm, are your hours different than if you're in practice, if you're the CEO, if you're a lawyer? Um, this is Marty at SOM. So we see the life of very much of an architect here. Jenny Payson, I mentioned her earlier. She was one of my first mentors actually in school. She was a fifth year and I was a first year. And we both were from Siberia, actually. The only other person I know from Siberia is Jenny. And we also both did ballroom dance, which is a huge thing for Russian girls. In the way that you do ballet here in the States, in Russia you do ballroom dance or traditional folk dance. We chose ballroom. Anyway, so she was like the cool fifth year architect who also ballroom danced. And this piece was about, continuing to be herself, to continue the life that she had wanted and built for herself, now having expanded her family. Also, family planning. I mean, these are things we don't talk about, right, in many contexts like these, but this is very much a reality of people's lives. This is Brand Knapp. She owns a firm with gentleman Jerome, but she talked about how she was incorporating going through like IVF as she was working on her own projects and leading her practice too, which again, very important to bring some of these elements of our lives to the surface because it's one life. You can't separate things completely, at least I think so. And of course, some behind the scenes look of, for example, photographers who are usually behind the camera shooting the architects that we present and what is it like to do this. From there, we thought, one thing I started noticing after this really started taking off, I was invited to speak on panels, is women are very, very often asked to speak about gender issues, but we're experts in a lot more than our gender, right? We are experts in climate solutions, in law, all of these things. And so how do we continue to communicate that? More suspense. For example, Katie wrote an essay on bamboo as a building material. We had an architect who was renovating a cathedral, write about that. So these are no longer Q&As. These are like research and essays about their work. We actually had somebody write an essay about stained glass preservation. And there's a whole field. It's very, very complex. So very interesting topics where women are very much experts. We have Next Gen, our column where we interview students. We do not have City Tech on here yet, so that of course needs to change. Professors, fellow students, send me your recommendations. Well, 2025. So we have students from all over the country. One thing I'm really trying to do is profile students internationally as well. So we'll find some of your peer schools abroad. We have a place for personal essays. Nina Cook-John wrote a number of really wonderful essays for us on identity, on being a professor as well as an architect, and on being an artist. In Ink is our historical column written by Kate Regev. She writes on the Madam Architects of yesteryear and kind of, issues that we talk about these days. They were also issues back in the day, maybe in different ways. There's a saying, history often repeats itself. No, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And so I think a lot of what we're finding is this, just the kind of different cycles that come in and out in our industry. We had someone write reviews, Kate Mazade. She would review movies, books, buildings, of course, exhibitions, just any way whenever she saw people communicating architecture interestingly, or obviously showing it in pop culture, she took a look at that. So here's where we really realized that Madam Architect was a platform to showcase and celebrate who is out there in the industry, but also have columns that are maybe typical to other publications, but from a female perspective. We have team interviews. Now, we don't interview firms. We don't interview women at firms. That starts to get into a little bit of corporate speak, and people talk about collaboration and teamwork, and our eyes start to, I don't know, I start to get a little bored. So for the team interviews, we really get people together that are coming together for an initiative that they're driving. Or if this is for the Ray Harlem and National Black Theater Project. We just did a construction tour of this actually, but yes, this is a project, but all of these people come from different firms. Some are owners reps, some are the client, some are the investors, and that was a really interesting thing too, to see all of these different perspectives talking about one project. And expanding the conversation, this was highly requested. I have to say our readership spiked on the day when we launched Expanding the Conversations, where we interview dudes and others. So this is Kai Uwe at Big. So I debated for a long time about this. We actually had some comments of people saying, I don't know if we should do this. I actually think it's very important that we interview everybody from sort of the spirit that we come to these interviews with. And what I mean by that is we interview men about issues that women care about. I don't often see men asked about mentorship. I don't often see them asked about what they're doing to advance equity in the profession. It's changing now. I think in culture, there's been a little bit of an acceleration of all this. But at the time we launched these, I was really only seeing interviews about like design inspiration and where people's design inspiration comes from. And that was only one aspect of really their output in the world. So we talk about fatherhood. I think all parents love to talk about their children and family planning and what they do and how they integrate all of it. We talk about these are classmates of mine from Cornell. They talked about, building their practice. I've interviewed, interestingly enough, them both, not together though. I'll have to interview them together and see how much the stories align. Kurt, Moody, and Jonathan, was very sad to hear the news, but I was very lucky to do an interview earlier this year. Obviously, the founder and the current CEO of Moody Nolan, another father. So we have a mother-daughter interview. We have a father-son interview. We'll do some father-daughter, mother-son interviews too. And we have the founders of Dean Journal. So again, we're kind of expanding the scope of who we talk to, but the things that we talk about, again, mentorship, career decisions, all of that remains the same. I'm almost at the end. One thing that was very important for us is, I think now you're seeing that this is an interview project. This has started to build a platform, a female perspective in the pieces that we do, and it's also become a community. There was just recently a really good piece on Fast Company written by Diana Buds just about this, different communities within design, and she wrote about Madam Architect. But, we had so many readers, people following us online, posting in the comments, there was a dialogue, and I couldn't wait to get everyone together. And so in 2019, after our first anniversary, after we had been doing this for a year, I thought, okay, we need to bring everyone together. We should bring together the people that I've interviewed, and we should bring together our readers with them, and people can meet each other and start mentorship conversations, all of this. We were planning our second-year anniversary party. We had the Jane Hotel on board. We were talking to sponsors, and we planned it for May 3rd, 2020. I don't think I need to tell you why we couldn't have it. And it was really sad because then for about 4 years into Madam Architect, we really couldn't bring, a wonderful group like this together, which is something I really, really wanted. We had an anniversary party our 4th year, which was wonderful. But then, there's some logistics involved in event planning. All of you who worked on this today understand there's a lot of work. But we really wanted a big group. Again, readers, supporters. So we wanted to make sure we had enough space for that. So we started Madam Architect Presents, which is our event series where the interviews come to life. So first, we started with me interviewing an architect that we had profiled, but in the project they designed, in the space. I think so often architecture lectures take place in an auditorium, and which is great. Again, there's room for all of it, and all of it needs to happen. Our focus was let's get you in the actual space they worked on so you can see right around you, their vision and their values. We started with Suchi Reddy at the new Google store in Chelsea. Much so Ilya and I are friends because I also took a photo, a selfie, or not a selfie, but a photo of our wonderful first audience, which was very, very special to us. A lot of people from all kinds of careers, tech folks came out to this because Google advertised it very well, which was very helpful to us. But we've done 6 of these so far, pending capacity, workload capacity for me. We did it at Diane von Furstenberg's headquarters in the meatpacking district. We did it at, Elizabeth Graciola with Yellow House Architects is wonderful. We did it at a model home she designed in 1 Wall Street, which was renovated from offices to apartments. And it was really fun to hear her talk about a client she invented for the model home and what they would do and eat and where they would go. And then we also did an event at the New York Public Library, at the new Stavros Niarchos Foundation Library, as well as Next Haven in New Haven by Ten Burke with Deborah Burke. And we just had our first construction tour, which was cool. But the kind of the flip side of a construction tour is the group is very, very limited. I think we could only accommodate 25 people or so. And there are so many wonderful readers we want to see. So I think we're going to do a mix of both. Now, there is a team. This is the team at our 5-year anniversary party. So you see our for us. Gail Kuchach is our proofreader, saving grace. Sydney Nance is our archivist. She makes sure the website is up to date. There's me. Julia Chu did our social media for some time. Kate Regev is our historical columnist, and Amy Stone, the very tall one you see closest to me, was the very first person to ever help me with Madam Architect. She wrote me about a year in and said, "Love what you do, put me to work. I need some inspiration. I need to like recharge myself in this industry." And this was our team this time last year. The team has kind of grown and scaled down based on, all of us. So this is something I didn't say. All of us are working in practice, whether that's as an architect, professor in school, as business development, as communications. And so, of course, because of that, we're very respectful of people's capacity. And if someone is expanding their family or taking a new job, they join us, they take a break. So our team is a little bit smaller at the moment, but we'll see. Once I can rev up some things for Madam Architect some more, hopefully it'll just keep growing and growing. Okay, at the end, some lessons. So I think what I've really realized is community is so important. I think we found this out with COVID, but I think even now, with various apps and us being on our phones all the time, more than ever before, yes, we're connected online, but in person we are more and more isolated, or can be more and more isolated. And I think meeting together, all being together like this is so wonderful. I was so excited to meet the City Tech community tonight exactly for this reason. But this is something important, and we really see it through the community we've built with Madam Architect. People want to read the stories, people want to understand what they can do with their careers, but they also really want to meet each other and share notes and lessons and get jobs, all of it. I also learned that, all of us are, very multifaceted beings. Again, I mentioned this, there's no such thing as like work-life balance. I prefer to think of it as work-life integration, where you decide how much of what areas of your life you want in your life. Do you want to, read for an hour 3 times a week, and then but spend 8 hours a week on your design work, as you probably have to, it's all about how much you can do. And what I really love is I think our interviews do cover that whole person spirit. And so being able to see the portraits of who we profile, sometimes in their offices, sometimes at home, sometimes outside, but really in contexts that matter to them, next to photos of their work, I think you really start to see how the human values that you possess really do come through. I don't think you can separate who you are as a person with who you are as a designer. Another example of this is an architect based in Turkey, Melike. Allison in England. She's Canadian though. And I have a couple of case studies. So I think the other thing I've learned with Madam Architect is that careers are long, right? And there's so many different things you can do all within one career. I don't think you have to pick a path and follow that until the end. You can be a traditional architect, and then you can teach, and then you can write, or you can do all three at once, or you can do none of those and do another thing. And so I wanted to give 2 examples. One is Kim Holden. She is one of the founding partners of Shop. She's one of the founders of Shop when there were 5 founders. She's no longer with Shop because now, she, I think the way she describes it is she was with the firm for as long as it took to feel like the wheels wouldn't fall off without her. I think there was a lot of things she managed at Shop, a lot of systems and operational processes she put in place. And when she felt like her leaving wouldn't, put too much stress on the firm, she thought, okay, what do I really want to do? So now she's a birth and postpartum doula. I made sure to get permission to use this very sweet, very intimate photo. A lot of her doula clients are employees she's had as an architect, students. It's very, very special. But what's so interesting is she talks about designing the birth. I mean, I haven't given birth yet. I hope to one day, but I know that there's probably no such thing as designing a birth. You just kind of brace for it and hope for the best. But again, I cannot speak from personal experience. But there are things, of course, that you can control and you can do, and all the things that you can control, how do you make sure that there's a plan in place through designing it? But the reason I give this as an example, because it kind of makes me sad when I give examples of people that leave architecture to do other things, even though if those other things are wonderful, because we do need really smart, talented, exceptional people shaping our world. She is now taking her experience both as an architect and a doula to now design birthing rooms. And ultimately, she would love to do birthing floors at a hospital, or ultimately birthing centers. And there's so many, there's just so many things that go into this. For example, way back, in the beginning experience, but from what I have seen and know, it is anything but that, right? And so she's thinking of how to design the whole experience and also the environment around it to make it as best or as smooth as possible for the birther. And then we have Jean Brownhill. Has anyone heard of Jean Brownhill? She is killing it. She is one of the very few African American women who has been VC funded. She has a tech company. It's called Sweeten. So she's trained as an architect. She went to the Cooper Union, she was working at Coach, designing stores. And then she bought a townhouse in Brooklyn where she grew up. And I think this is again, things she's told me, the renovation was so stressful for all of you that have renovated. Again, one thing I hope to do sometime in my life, but maybe I'm glad it's not coming quite yet. It was so stressful that she thought there must be a better way to do this. So she founded a company called Sweeten, which matches those looking to renovate their home with contractors that are vetted, and Sweeten is the platform that vets them. It is like a wonderful, wonderful tech startup. Jean has been featured in, Forbes and Inc. and is just a very, very impressive example of what you can do with kind of an architectural systems thinking mindset and apply that to the internet, technology, tech, also construction. They're really they're everything. They're a tech company. They're a construction company. But again, a wonderful example of how she's doing something a little bit different, but still shaping the world for the better and making the processes of shaping the world for the better. This is more Sweeten. Last lesson is, I think we do focus on how can we present different examples. We all know the image of the architect that has been presented to us again and again. Maybe there's a turtleneck and some glasses and the turtleneck's of a certain color. And this is from our 5-year anniversary party. Does anyone notice anything about? They're not wearing black. That was our dress code. It's like, come as the anti-architect. Well, maybe not the anti-architect. Our dress code was just wear color. And I think that is really at the spirit of Madam Architect. Yes, we are tapping into a field that has a long history, that exists for a long time, but what can we uncover that is new and fresh and hopefully inspiring? How can we do things differently? And ultimately, how can we celebrate that? And so I think for all of you students that are here tonight that I've met, I hope what you take away from this is that there are just so many incredible options. I think you can have a long, fulfilling, full career and life just by, this is trite, but I think it's true, being true to yourself. Think back to your extracurriculars now. For all of you practicing and maybe you need a boost or a pivot, or you're thinking, gosh, I've always wanted to do this. How can I bring it into my work? I think it's all very, very possible, and I hope that Madam Architect provides a resource for how that can be done, or at least to inspire how you might be able to do that for yourself. This is where you can find me. This is our Instagram, our email for pitches. Based on everything you learned tonight, I would love to know who we should profile. There's a search function on our website, so you can see if we've profiled somebody that you love already. And I think that's it. I would love to hear from you, and I'm so happy to have met all of you tonight. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing. It's very hard to hear in the back, and so we're going to do a quick 2-minute something for the audio, and then we're going to have Sarah Drake come up and tell us a little bit about AI Brooklyn and some amazing things. So grab something to drink and take care of the audio real quick. But that was amazing. That's really incredible.
I kind of understood when she said she was looking for inspiration woman, inspirational woman in architecture, and then how you can really relate to that because she's like a superhero. You know, she's like all the way up there. And you need someone that's a little lower than her.
It's like climbing into that. You see a skyscraper. Tell yourself you can be up there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes, like actually, because I have 8 to 10 years of experience in lab design. So she was talking about how architects have agents in my lab, and they still contact me every 6 months to make sure I don't want to switch jobs. So I think that's something good with myself. I don't really have to worry about job security. It's pretty.
That thing says no shorts. Am I supposed to say that?
Yeah, it's fine. It's because it's looking for Bluetooth. That's
Okay.
Pretty cool. It all started like with sustainability. Because it has a lot of taking the sustainability class and able to
Testing. I think I should go. Yeah, I mean, I think I should go back.
How's it going?
Professor Aptekar. They can have it in the back.
The thing is,
I wanted to make sure you heard me. So they put it here in the back. Yeah.
but I didn't set it up.
I would make sure you're how are you? Test.
What?
Yes. Test. No, because I want to hear you back. The problem before was back there and yes. Test.
So go back to what it was.
Test. A little bit loud. Yeah, but there's feedback because there's a speaker. So yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Do we need 2 microphones?
No.
Okay, so we should turn one off.
Yeah, well, they're both on? I didn't
They're
realize
both on, yeah.
Yeah, turn one off.
Do they go to the one receiver?
Yeah.
All right.
I need that one.
I don't know.
that you were getting hammered down here.
He called me. He said, "Yo, go ahead. He wants to come up." Yeah, the mics are not loud. Like up here, the loud. This don't have to be this far. Here's the mic, so. I mean, if it's not.
Test.
Yeah, test yourself. If you can hear
Test. 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 Up.
I mean, like, it's just gonna like.
Up. Up.
Up more? There's no way.
We don't know if that's up or down. That's surprised. That's why I'm saying. I think that's fine.
That's super.
Little lower. Little lower. There we go. There we go. I hope they let me speak. I got some things to say.
No, you're good. Wait, just like, turn it off. Yeah. We have to make sure it works over there. So you can hear it all the way back, right? Yeah. Is it like crazy loud or like?
It's a good volume, so when everyone's quiet, it should be loud. Like it should be a good volume.
I really don't like. I'm not a fan of this. It like auto levels itself, and so it makes it hard to like set. She's really quiet too, and she's yeah, exactly.
Can you hear me?
Can you adjust it first? No.
No, wait. Hello, everybody. Got it. Testing. Can everybody hear me in the back? Yo, can you hear me in the back? Joshua, can you hear me in the back? Excellent. Jeremiah, sorry. You can hear me? Everybody, thumbs up. Excellent. We're good. There. So can I have everybody jump back into the audience? We've got the AV working now. And we have a brief presentation from Sarah Drake, president of AIA Brooklyn, to talk about some of the amazing things and why they're great partners with us. So let's get going. Come on down.
Good one.
The one. You can see that.
Power?
The power, maybe?
Wait, did we step on the thing? Watch out. How are you? Yeah, everything's fine. So they're okay. Okay, we figured it out.
Yo, I told you.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, there we go. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yep, let's go.
I whisper. That's the. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. I want to thank Ilya and Sanjeev for inviting me to be part of this wonderful experience. I'm very honored to be here. And Julia, I'm so impressed with your presentation, and I'm floored by what you showed us and what you were able to accomplish, along with the many other people that you present and provide for us via Madam Architect. Let's give her a applause, everybody. I graduated from Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. And I've been working in New York City for over 38 years as a junior architect, a project architect, an associate architect, and now as a principal architect of my own small firm. 38 years. What a journey. One thing I love about this job is that I have visited and seen so many different places from so many different angles. The basement tunnels of Rikers Island, the apartment of Jackie Onassis, the prayer room at the top of Richard Gere's townhouse in Greenwich Village, the view of the Brooklyn Bridge and the East River from the, while suspended from the rooftop parapets of 1 Wall Street, with 3/4 of an inch of wood between me and the sidewalk, 29 stories below. I have designed apartment interiors and townhouses. I've worked on homes and home expansions in Westchester, Southampton, Greenwich, Connecticut, the Adirondacks, and Aspen, Colorado. Mostly I work in New York City. Sorry I missed that part. I am working now on a project to restore a steeple in Chester, New Jersey, a church built in the 1700s, and I will provide ADA access to it and its associated buildings. Many of my assignments have required for me to survey and document historic structures within fractions of an inch. The wonderful lobby of the Woolworth Building, the exterior facades of the Dakota, the Rockefeller Apartments, and the San Remo Building. I get to see rooms often hidden to most people. Elevator machine rooms with gizmos that look like giant clocks whirring in sequence.
the building basements, which look like what I think must be ocean liners. Rooms in transition with walls and floors, with faded aspects on walls and floors that make me realize that there are ghosts in every room that I occupy in New York City. Each building project is a story. Each provides layers of questions, answers, experiences, and explorations that inform me as an architect, and now in my role as president of the Brooklyn chapter of the AIA. There are several members of AIA Brooklyn here now: David Cunningham, John Hathaway, Mi Zhang, Chitra Mamidella, and anybody else here? Okay. The American Institute of Architects is a professional organization that supports its members to the extent they choose to use its many services. Its mission: to create a healthy, just, and equitable built environment through the practice of architecture. There are 13 local AIA chapters in New York State, and AIA Brooklyn is one of the 5 chapters in New York City. The mission: AIA Brooklyn is dedicated to the advancement of the architectural profession through education, outreach, and mutual respect. And this brings me to City Tech. There have been AA architects in the City Tech faculty, including Mi Zhang, who teaches studio course in architectural technology and is a director of our board, and Ilya Azaroff, who is an award-winning architect and an at-large director at the AAA National Board, and he will be our next year's AAA's Nationals next year president. The AIA governance members, like me, Ilya, and myself, are volunteers. We add this to our already overloaded schedules. This is typical predicament of architects, as City Tech students must know by now. What I learned in this role is how important and meaningful this volunteer work is, that it creates ongoing connections to other architects, vendors, and related professionals that always rewards the time and effort we put in. I attended an AA conference last month, and a question came up during one of our discussions. What is unique about an architect in the building construction industry? What sets an architect apart from a contractor or a developer? These are people who often can and do design buildings and rooms to a certain extent. The question has continued to percolate for me, and the best answer is, to me, is the extra consciousness and intent that an architect provides to a building project. That can mean many things, such as respecting the legacy of a particular type or style of buildings or group of buildings within the parameters of a design solution. Architects can bring a wide understanding to a project, the historic and cultural settings, the trends and codes and laws, past and present, the unseen things that can and do and will affect a building. We are continually applying our learning experiences from earlier projects to current work. This is what City Tech students are in the process of learning now, building that foundation. AIA Brooklyn holds monthly meetings and events that offer learning units and exposure to the many topics relevant to architecture and the practice of architecture. One of our directors, David Cunningham, not here, develops lecture programs by finding 3 people who offer different perspectives on a given subject, such as energy conservation, public housing. And these presentations, we often ask presenters to give a 10-minute presentation. It turns into 20 or 30, and at the end of it, we have a question and answer period. And these are just as much a part of the lecture as what the people are presenting. It's a comprehensive back and forth about a subject and ultimately illuminating. In 2022, we began a series of such programs with City Tech, led by Sanjay Vijay and Ting Chin, and sponsored by Cohn Pedersen Fox and Henny Larson, to include their students at our meetings and hold the meetings at their campus. Subjects have included new Brooklyn libraries designed for resources and material ecology, creativity and collaboration, design for change, design for water, design for integration, design and ecosystems. We've done this now 2022, 2023, and now 2024. The subjects that we cover are decided on by City Tech students, and we as professionals learn what is relevant to them, such as the discussion we had recently earlier this year about correctional facilities and their effect on human well-being. And that's about architecture. This is architecture that affects the way we live, the way we work together. And the discussion about the historical background of unions and the role of organized labor in a professional setting. You can take any subject and keep going with it. And that's what our conversations do. Architecture affects most parts of our lives in so many ways. Our direct connection of the student perspective reminds us of what it was like to be a student. And we often learn as much as they do during this exploration. In 2022, I was the editor of the AA Brooklyn Pylon magazine. For our September issue, we made City Tech and its many programs for architecture, along with its new 5-year B-Arch program, the focus. To learn more while preparing for the issue, I met with Sanjeev, and he gave me a tour of the school where we are now, and told me about one of the most diverse student bodies related in so many different ways: ethnicity, race, and gender, and financial resources. He covered the gamut of a program that offered so many different things to so many different types of people. I saw the evidence of many wonderful things happening with their students while knowing that funds and resources are limited. And as architect and as president of AA Brooklyn, I am proud of our work with the City Tech and the opportunities we have to learn about their students and their needs. I want to continue to develop more meaningful products and relationships to be able to offer their students community from our pool of professionals. Architecture starts with education. This is the time when students must develop and prepare their own fully thought out solutions to a project and the many issues that are involved with it. We need architects in all places more than ever, and City Tech is a school that can provide them. This is showing you our issue of the pylon issue that we used 2 years ago. Thank you, everybody.
Sanjeev, did you want to say some words now?
Sure.
Thank you, Sarah. That was an amazing presentation and a whirlwind through the relationship that we formed with AI Brooklyn and a lot of the members that are here tonight, serving on our juries for years and years and just coming forward and embracing our members or our students. So I'd like to introduce Sanjeev Vaidya. He's our chair of the department, to say a little bit about why you should continue to open your wallets and support these students. How's that sound?
Thank you. Julian, can you hear me? I'm really happy to see everyone here. If you're in the back and you can hear me, please take a seat. Come on, sit with us. Make us feel like we're a big family here. This is really important. This has really been an amazing evening to have everyone together, to have the different arms and practices of architecture coming together to support City Tech. We're kind of an unknown program. I know that when Sarah came here many years ago, it was extraordinary for her to just see what it is we're doing here. So what I want to do very quickly is give you guys the background. I think that the two talks we had are really important, setting up some long-term trajectories. But for the alumni that are here, for faculty, adjuncts who probably haven't seen a lot of the different efforts, what I want to run through is where we're trying to go, what we're trying to do, and how the dollars that people give us helps. Because it sort of doesn't make sense. And I'm hearing this from different people or donors. We're a public program. So Why are we out fundraising? So let's run through that. So this program is a World War II era vocational jobs training program. I think that's a really important thing to think about. Why? Because we're seeing a lot of our world in turmoil right now. There is a whole new need for revived mission of rebuilding, reconsidering community, building with regenerative design, a lot of really amazing ideas. But it all started here in 1950. And you can see that we still have some of the furniture and the floor tile that exists from that era. These are some stats for our program. We do have a really diverse group of students, and they're very proud of it. We are also the largest program of architecture in the tri-state area. The largest program of architecture in the tri-state area that no one has ever heard of. That no one has ever heard of. It is extraordinary. I want to give you perspective, so some people don't know about this. The city university system is comprised of 25 colleges and schools, and it includes a medical school, mind you. We are just one of those programs. We are a senior college. The city university system educates 275,000 students. The operating budget for CUNY with its 275,000 students is the same as one private university in New York. So the resources are extraordinarily mismatched, right? You can see that from these slides here. We have 850 students crammed into the one floor that I hope a lot of you got a chance to get a tour of. This is a list of private schools here. Private schools are setting up shop in New York City because this is where the money is. The New York Building Congress estimates that spending on construction in New York City is going to top $115 billion in 2025-26. The schools are responding, right? They are coming here, so they set up shop. City College up on 137th Street and us. We're it. That's it. So I did an informal analysis of the top leadership at colleges, at private practices, and you can see the problems that the AIA has been writing about since early 2000s. There is a lack of diversity with principals, with the profile of the top 10 firms. It all looks very familiar. And it hasn't changed. It has not changed dramatically since they first published their report in 2016. So I want to sketch out for you what I see are common barriers. One is, of course, the high cost of educating. The tuition is a big barrier for a lot of students. But there is a circular relationship between private schools, private businesses, jobs, where money goes from one hand to another. This is what is so remarkable about this evening, because we are breaking that cycle. A school like Harvard will send its top principals to work in an office. They will intern, they will work there for many years. They will give money where? Harvard's Alumni Association. We don't have that yet. Why does it matter, right? We're a public program. Who cares? We should exist on public funds. It's because we want to start looking at our communities, placemaking. It is very important that architecture does not get concentrically smaller and smaller towards people that have money. It needs to be expanded. We need to talk about outer boroughs. We need to talk about the dark economy. The dark economy represents $1 trillion hole on the American GDP. It's 10% of our economy. That is a very important thing for us to look at as architects and designers. What does our street look like? And what does it look like in a private, hermetically sealed building? One of the most amazing inflammatory things I read in the New York Times was about how many of these private developers have core doors. That pissed off a lot of students on the class. So the Brookings Institute writes about transformative placemaking. I believe that City Tech has an incredibly central role to training the general public become better educated, how to make better communities, how to make stronger communities, how to use their design and technical skills towards placemaking. This is a responsibility that, as Sarah and Julia have defined, that includes a lot of us, a lot of different players, a lot of different people to advocate, to demand that we have better communities built and designed for people, not for a smaller group. So this is a very curious thing. I can't figure this out. These slides are put together by Professor Hernandez and Chin, and they haunt me. I don't understand this. Why? Because the students that come here face challenges beyond what we typically experience in architecture programs. The architecture education is a tough, challenging, brutal, high dropout rate program. And then if you add on that the stresses from having to keep a job, managing family, trying to figure out how to pull ends together to make tuition, how to buy materials for school, these things are limiting factors. They really impact our students in a very difficult way. But there is a lot of positive things to this too. The efficacy of our program is measured by the Social Mobility Index. So the Social Mobility Index looks at a 20-year period of time. When you get your college degree, 20 years later, what is your income level? Of course, the city university always dominates these, right? But this is a very important statistic because now it's looking outside of the alumni funding money going from a private firm to a private college back to a private firm. It is a very important way of looking at the efficacy of our work and the efficacy of our education. Talent capitalization is something that we're really interested in this program. We are looking not to make more architects, sorry AA of Brooklyn, but we want to make sure that we are recognizing every single student's individual talent and skill and making sure that they are applying it towards something that is using those skills, helping to build community, helping to build the environment, helping to improve their environment. This map is a very interesting map. This is the conflict region map. It shows all the areas in the world where there are major conflicts. I'm sure now there's probably more of these red dots there. What's interesting about that map is that a lot of our students come from those regions. Therein lies a solution, I think, for our department. That's a place where we can start giving these students skills, the motivation to go back and help. And you'll see here in this quote here, Rafael writes that, I want to become a licensed architect and return home. And I think that's a really important asset for this particular program. Our students identify with community. They speak multiple languages, right? This is all very important part of our revived mission. So the new mission critical, in my opinion, is now starting to look at infrastructure. It's looking at policy. It's looking at how we get our students engaged with community. To restructure this whole cycle where we're looking at education and place-based learning. We're looking at civic service, entrepreneurship, research, mentorship, all of these different things. You've heard a bit about that tonight as well. And I think they're really important parts of an academic education or academic program. We have had the associate's degree for many years. This is the World War II era 2-year degree, associate's degree. We have the BTech, which is 4 years, and now we have the accredited 5 years. We keep these degrees. They're very important. Each one is a scaffold onto which students build up onto before they move to the next one. So it's important to keep that. We also have a business minor, and I think the chair of the business school is here, or was here, Lucas Bernard. That is an incredibly important development in the last 2 or 3 years that they've created at CityTech. ASAP. So a lot of people who are visiting don't know about this. The college, in partnership with the Robin Hood Foundation, will pay for your 5-year BArch degree, no questions. A BArch degree for free, a professional degree for free, that is amazing. Nobody knows about that. Where does the money go? So we get money from all of your generous contributions, and they go to things like buying laptops or helping students buy their own laptops. Annabelle Selder plunks down a full year's tuition every year so we can get 2 students. We don't give it all to 1 student, we want to break it up, but we give it to 2 really strong students to help pay for their tuition, offset those costs. Brooklyn Architects, they're not here tonight either, but they give us a scholarship every year. Ooh, sorry. The Brooklyn Architects Scholarship Fund. Sorry, John.
John's here.
John's here. Sorry, I was thinking of the Brooklyn Studio. Sorry about that, John. The Brooklyn Studio. So, place-based learning. Professor Apgar, I think he's teaching. He's teaching class, right? So we've done the Soul Decathlon. This has been an insightful project for our students. A lot of students learned that they wanted to do different things. Some of you guys are having traumatic flashbacks right now. Fab Fest, this is an incredible program where we sent students overseas to compete in this digital fabrication competition. These things take money. This is where the dollars start to go. They help our students go do these types of events. Civic engagement, this is a really important part of our program for our students. Getting our students out there to work and learn more about the mechanics of community. This is a program the Urban Land Institute works with us. Professor Azrael teaches us in his design studio. It is all about civic mechanics. How do you make sure that your city has some income before it's spending on parks and planning and community housing, etc. These are 2 of our graduates. I was hoping they'd be here tonight. They're not here. Hercules Reed on the right volunteered on his own to become a public advocate for Eric Adams when he was the Brooklyn Borough president. Garcia went to Richie Torres' offices to just work. And I think this is an incredible application of architectural education, using it to go get the public involved, using it to help their community, their local community. Professor Langer Voss, who may not be here right now, set up the Art Scholars Program. This is an extraordinary movement to get New York City Housing Authority residents here at City Tech to work with our students to develop ideas about their own community. Dr. Sutton is now a part of that with NYU Parsons. It's become a really successful program. So if you're an alumni and you want to get involved, this is a really great program. They're having their reviews coming up at NYU Parsons. DOB Scholars, again, an example of civic engagement. We've built this relationship with the city. They hire a lot of our students to work for them. Financial literacy is important. A lot of people don't know, a lot of our graduates don't know the cost of their own labor. Figuring out what their value is an important part of becoming an architect, becoming a part of this community that they belong to. The Architectural League has been incredibly instrumental in developing this mentorship program with us. We launched it recently. 150 students were matched. 150 matches were made between City Tech, City College, and Keene University. This is some data that Professor Hernandez put together. Have you ever visited an architectural office? This is a more current statistic. More of our students have been to an office, but when we first started this, that chart was inverted. Very few students had ever set foot in an architectural office. This one is something that we're working on tonight, because having the alumni here is very, very important. You all are responsible for extending a hand to a current student. So I'm looking at you, Farai. I'm looking at all of you guys. You're sitting back there. Keep reaching out. Albina, this is really important. We have developed our own pre-internship program. This is a really important way to start bringing in students to learn about the different types of practice. Mimosa, I know you're looking up. That's really important for us. AIA Brooklyn relationship, we just heard from Sarah. We have a College Now program. The College Now program is run by Professor Yang, who's coming in right now, and Professor Langer Voss. This is an extraordinary program. This is the equivalent of an AP class for students. It's our introduction to architecture. It's free of charge to any New York City public school student. And what Professor Yang has done is, instead of the standard sit around and draw all day, they do sit around and draw all day, but they make movies. So they've been making movies in this class and screening it at the end of the class. And it's the most exhilarating thing to see a high school student excited about well, anything really, but it's fantastic. This has run now for 3 years, and it's been incredibly successful. We are one of the few programs that has a relationship with 10 public high schools. 10 public high schools. This is incredibly unusual because what we're seeing is that the students that come here are representative of the general public. The general public does not have any idea about architecture. They do not have experience in architecture. As you've seen from the data we're showing you, they've never been to an architectural office. But they all want to have some hand, some thumbprint in how their community looks, what it feels like, what it shapes, what it smells like, where do you put the garbage, what happens, where's the energy coming from? That is all really part of starting our program before the students come here at the college level. We are working to keep extending into the high school programs to make sure that students graduating from the public high school program can compete with the 10 other private colleges, which will easily snap up any student that can create a portfolio or have an AP class. And if you can do that at high school, we can almost to a T tell you your socioeconomic indicator. The scholarship of engagement is where I see City Tech belonging. This is about how we as practitioners, as educators, start to expand beyond the boundaries of our school. I think what's extraordinary about City Tech to me is that every single faculty member here is an activist. Because stuff doesn't work here. I was going to say a less nice word. Things don't work here. You have to swim upstream to get anything to work here. And that's just the way it is, right? We are a chronically underfunded program. We depend on the dollars from the industry. We depend on dollars from people who believe that architecture has a role to play in the future. We believe we depend on the grace and the energy of communities like AIA Brooklyn, the Architectural League, AIA New York. All of these places have really come. They've met our students. That's going to be the most lasting impact all of you will take when you go home, is you'll think about, oh, I met this incredible student, they had a great story, and they were really excited about some kind of project or something that they learned here. That's what we want to leave everyone with, because I think you spend a half hour with our students and you'll come away feeling like an activist. You'll feel like, yeah, this is a program that matters. 850 students. We graduate more students every May than any other program in the tri-state area. That's a lot of people to start figuring out where they're going to go. And they're not all going to architecture offices, that's for sure. So that is my pitch to you. Some of these folks are here tonight. It's good that you meet them, you meet the alumni, you meet the current students, and please keep giving. This is a really important mission. The giving side is open for 60 days. Thank you. Pass it on to colleagues. We have been pounding the doors of every architectural firm. This is a full combat fight for us. We really feel it here because, to me, the negative is really hard to imagine. If we close down, if City College closed down, I think that speaks really badly for the entire design community. That is saying that you must have $70,000 in your pocket to even play this game of architecture. I don't like that. That bothers me. It doesn't sit well with me at all. And I hope it doesn't with you too. So I hope you'll, before you go, swipe your credit card, scan the little thing. I don't have it here. But please consider giving. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming tonight. All right, thank you. Please have some food.
Desserts over there. Well, there's desserts over there. There's more drinks.
Thank you to the volunteers.
Yeah, thanks to the volunteers.
If you're all volunteers, please stand up. Round of applause. Thank you.
Yeah. Great stuff. Thank you. Really?
Just to see it. I mean, it was takes me out. So it's just amazing work.
Yeah, energy to dance.
It's you know when you have a lot of staff helping others, you know,
Yes. Well, I told India, I said, listen, I'm coming in to, are you here, number one? Because I don't know, maybe he's traveling the world, right? And he said, no, I'm here. This event was happening, so he sent me the event. He said, you're going to be here, and I said, oh, I'm going to come down.
He's from
yeah, middle of everywhere. Yes, it is. It's decidedly colder. So I felt great here.
You're like, it's great.
Amazing. Yeah, I did. I went all the way up. I went to work this. And sit on some friends and just like listen,
I'm sure India right away.
So tell me about you. How long have you been here?
I started every job, there are days that you question, there are days that make it worth it. I think it's seen and respected.
Yeah, the energy I felt from all these students was amazing. I would much rather hang out with students than people my age. Most people my age are cool. Absolutely. They challenge you. Bullshit piercings through concrete.
That is true.
And that's okay. I have a 25-year-old. I get it. You got to tell me about the boys. Anyway, I was just very impressed. And Sanji, amazing. Amazing. Yes.
I love
The movies.
the movies are super fun.
So
Because we're trying to get high and as much as I feel passionate and speaking about it, it could be a good program for somebody who they actually write a script and speak it and feel it might ease their business. You do it. So part of it is also this is a population. The first summer,
seriously, you were
actually focused on
I mean, that is design. And it involves presentation and a little street theater. I mean, yeah.
Come on, are you scared of this? Like splicing the music and like what the project is about. We asked them to do hopefully sort of reflections. They talked about images, some historical library. I don't know where to find this stuff. Like they already know how to do all of it. It's just that we were teaching them like this is how education should be. No, you find this
Just an outreach alone, and then they're going to be brand evangelists. They're going to go back and tell everybody, I just did this, for architecture and for
actually, I have students, and we just give this final project that's really a week. It's a whole week program. They learn some of the things they Away from the other pile. I will take it. Thank you so much.
No, thank you though. Appreciate the hospitality. I'm just, I mean, the success in Brooklyn, and look, I'm a public school teacher. I went to Wisconsin. I do not have a better education. Sanjeev, I am so impressed.
Oh, good.
I gotta tell you.
We met. I can tell from the glasses he's one of our tribe.
He's funny. I walked in because architect. I just started laughing. I'm like, I could definitely hang out with this guy. Listen, I am just really impressed. The programs, the energy. I was blown away, and then when I saw the work, I'm thinking, dude, I wasn't even quarter that talented when I was that age. They're amazing, amazing. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
It's not me. I mean, it's the faculty.
It's the team.
Yeah, it's the team.
I'm just so impressed. I'm so glad that I came down here.
Oh, good. From Nebraska?
He came from Nebraska.
Belongs to you.
And the Z train. I am, yes. And I'm the higher education market leader for Shy Battery. And Midwest-based firm, but we're expanding. Before that, I was with HDR, and I was a director of civil architecture. Before that, I had my own architect design build firm in San Francisco for 22 years.
Yeah, so why are you not
I would. Next time I would love to just hang out and be around people. Tell everybody.
That's not all wrong.
Most people my age are boring as hell. I get inspired to be around. They're in. They're in. They are in future. Yeah. Right. I mean, and listen, I mean, loved it, great energy. She's a rock star. And it's funny, she's and all of a sudden I just laid it out. I was born in Caracas. So she had no idea. So we became fast friends.
Really?
Yeah. Puro Latino, hombre. Well, you just don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Well, this is amazing program, really. Yeah. He didn't tell you? Oh my God, what a rapscallion. Completely.
I have not heard it in a century, I'll tell you that.
My lexicon contains many words that are of no interest to me.
Two of the worst students I ever had.
The worst?
Exactly. So
Worst
you gotta
students,
listen to these.
All right. Okay.
Josh, nice to meet you.
Raymond. Josh and Raymond. So what's the school? You hung out with this?
No.
He wished
my
he
boot
hung
the whole time.
He wished
The whole time.
Okay. It's hard to get away from this guy.
So
we got right? We can talk all this, but I have the receipts.
He's kind of a big wig in certain circles. Is he go be getting bigger than that? It's okay. It's all right. Where are you now? You guys.
No, but where do you work? Where do you work now?
And tell me about Selden.
We are.
Okay. And where is Selden located?